Firstly, Tashidele, greetings to all Dharma friends. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are happy.
tene ta nganzo pake so la pake deshi giba noji deshi deya tela ya shu chi la ta lo ro pake lo jo to nyale ke to ne lo na ta so ni ka keso chimbo ta du keso chimbo ra ya isa ta nganzo ta di che tene ba lo ro shago na bo chi ke to ne do ya res.
So, in terms of that happiness that we want, in terms of that happiness that we are all seeking, the very best way to achieve that is on the basis of the stages of the path or the stages of the Lamrim. Through the study and practice of the stages of the path, not only will we be able to aim towards temporary, but also ultimate happiness.
다 ngaro so sudu si na yo ta tu ro pake to ya na wo te deya te do ta shon ta tu shon chi ta was. Ina yo ta ti nyela ni ka ge deshi mombo chi ko ya isa tela yo tane jo mombo chi ko ya res.
So, all of us practitioners, in terms of the happiness that we're trying to achieve as our final result, it is that final happiness. But in the meantime, before that final happiness is achieved, we also need to create the causes to abide in temporary happinesses.
다 들이 저 때문에 로저 바서가 눈에 티치고 디도 뭐 로저 바세 아드레스.
And so, in terms of the three scopes of the Lamrim or stages of the path, today's glance meditation falls into the stages of the path of the middle scope, the stages of the path common to a person of middling capacity.
소소 자치 뭐 전에 디체도 거네. 강에 유주 밤에 와서 그건 뒤에서는 또나 게야시레스.
And so, in terms of this practitioner, he or she is seeing themselves as important, as precious, and having seen that, then they want to be able to get to a state where they are completely free of problems or difficulty.
다로 이제 강갈로 차통아 자치 뭐래데 대이자 당가 부에 신다고 땡보지 그 돈에 봐. 너 그건 뒤에서는 또나요 이게 미지게 하게 됐지레스.
But along with that, we want to go beyond that, understanding that both myself and others are precious. And so then I am training in these stages as like a foundation to work towards that.
어떤지시래 다 대우더니 저 다리 약게 제시야 되시운 디도 뭐 이런 좀 봐서 돼 진짜 만다와 이와레스.
And so then, in terms of the stages of the path of the middle scope, we can speak about Gyudongje Bunirwa.
저도 좀 대체 만다와 이.
We can speak about two causes and effects.
밥 매봐줘야 쇼르더니 저도 되고 로도지 아니 지 그야가 내서 달라 저도 되고 그냥 인디기 땡주세는 만다와 이와레스.
So we speak of these dependent arisings of cause and effect. The first cause and effect is something that we need to get rid of or abandon. And number two, the second cause and effect is something that we need to achieve.
다 던지지 있어 다대 소소 다노지 우라가 다비야 깨라치 뭐래 덴바시 세나 다 주는 거야레스.
And so, having sort of set the stage now, we will speak about that very important and also famous topic of the Four Noble Truths or the Four Arya Truths.
다 고나고 지게더니 맞았더니 벨리라고 지게더니 말이잖아. 도이스.
So Geshe said we'll go about this by a glance meditation, and along with the meditation, there'll be some easy examples.
뭐냐. 소소소 리드 세rum바스 자네 렐레지네 다른 바도 마테 그야레스.
So as a first step, let us just put our body and mind in a relaxed state.
리드 세 발레레 자네 라타네 리데와도 세 버게 소가 되문다고 쳐서나
And when we put our body and mind in a relaxed state, once the mind is happy and the body is at ease, has a feeling of ease,
다 로스스 세이나 소소스 자친구 이네 지가 요나 나 세야 할레베더니 요다 체네메사 아니 기보조조 여사실은 리버더니 지르는 거야레스.
and so when we think about ourselves or any other person, if we think of the component of that we call the I or the self, we can see that for that I or that self, we want to be able to achieve a state where no problems will be encountered at all, where there is only happiness.
던지긴 요다 떼내면 비고 내서 아니 chila kiboma to nyoda tiene me ba chila ane le sona ngude sate
And when we speak of reaching that state where there are no problems, where there's no difficulty at all, and one, because of abandoning those problems, abides in only happiness, this is what is known as Gokten, true cessations.
ta tandi chiran do ala ane taga ze koleg mar ba so ma san ji le ya mar ta lo rumba momo ji ha tene lo ane nyoda kanga ba ka to ya ga ane ne ze ya bo shiki ga ta lo shira momo ji ko ya res
And so, to be able to arise at this state of true cessations, this requires effort. We can't just wish it or think it into happening. We need to be able to study, for example, all of the stages of the path, and we need to be able to develop the knowledge to solve our problems. And this comes through training and wisdom.
tandi ga lam ta la ta to shira ni yo chu ya res
And that path is the combination of method and wisdom.
tandi ga nyoda chi ju kanga ba ka to ki ne ne kanga to ki ne chila ne lo de da wo chi su ya res
And by cultivating this, to be able to cultivate those steps so that we understand reality, the way things really are. This is Lumden, true paths.
pe na nga ro su nyoda yo sa ga ta shin da wo nyoda cha ba ma ba no ji yo sa ga shin da wo de ko wa ja so thong da wa chi res
And so when we speak about our problems, or perhaps the basis of all our problems, the basis that causes the problems to fall like rain, this is what we know as samsara, or cyclic existence.
ta tzi hal le pi ta ba ji yo ba yin na ane ja so tin nyoda ka ze phal le ba yin na yo pa nyoda me ni pa shu do to yo ai za lo dian da wo de tzi da wo de chong
And so, if we think of a boat, if we think of a boat that can cross this vast ocean of samsara, no matter how rough or dangerous the ocean may be, this boat, which will carry us across the ocean, is like the lamdun, the true paths.
ta nga zo tang ge ta mo la ba no ji nyoda che de me sa ga sa ja tan ji ki bo chi lo wa la ane long ga la tane ka ma do cha pa do ta tane nyoda ka nge che ki ta cha da mo mo ji ya res
And so, as before, we stated that if we want to be able to reach the destination of this place where there are no difficulties at all, we have to travel along this road. And it may happen that on that road we encounter obstructions or obstacles, dangerous people, thieves, and so forth.
te ji te de sa do da wa re sa na de ba ji no ne kun ju de ba sa de
And so, what are those obstacles or those dangers that we may encounter as we cultivate towards that destination? Within the Four Noble Truths, we could say that they are similar to the Kunjung Dempa, true origins.
ta ka ma do cha pa mo mo ta tane long ga nyo da ta de la de ne so so lo ka nge chi jin da mo da nga ro su mi to ya mo mo ya ra was
And so, if you encounter those thieves or different obstacles or dangers on the path, we can see how this is going to cause a lot of troubles and difficulties.
tane ka nge ka ro ka nge chi ju mo mo ji ya re te ji ka nga ro du nga de ba sa de
And so, all of the problems that we encounter because of the difficulties we endure on the journey, the thieves and so forth that we meet, the actual difficulties themselves, these would be similar to true sufferings within the Four Noble Truths.
yin de ge ro ba tong bo du nga de ma to kun ju de ma ni de pa me ba zo ya ge yin de chi ne chi res
And so, in terms of the two sets of cause and effect, the first set of cause and effect are the things that we want to abandon or get rid of. And so, these are true origins and true sufferings.
lo de thong ani lo de je thong tin ju gu de sana maro su chi ani se no lo chi da ya yani je de shu ba ni de
And then, in terms of the things that we need to achieve, the things that we need to actualize, we have the cause of true paths and the result of true cessations. So, true paths and true cessations are what we must achieve.
yo pe le la bu chi to ne de ma ja mo shi gu yo na de ma de ba se ne maro so no ji ani mo se ga no la na sa na ma na mo yo mo de wa te de ma de ba te da wa
Another easy example by which we can come to comprehend the Four Noble Truths is to think about all of the illnesses, the sicknesses that we may encounter. These illnesses or sicknesses are compared to true sufferings.
ten mine se ga din de ba mine mo de na tambo de mo ga ne ka ra yi me de ko ta ro mo chi ya ya bu shi gu
And if we really don't want to be ill, if we want to recover from that, we have to think about the suffering or the illness and think about what the underlying causes of that are.
ten ri ba ni pa te la ani de ma ten de ba mo de na de ma te yu yu ga de du chi ka ra yi ba de ra te ne te me ba so ku ya yi sa ku ju de ba sa de ani pa me ba so ku
So the second step is to identify the causes and conditions that are leading to the illness. We have to identify the causes and conditions of that illness correctly. And so this is like the true origins within the Four Noble Truths.
su ji na yo de ma ani shi ba sha ku ju po wa sha se ka so wa de
One of the main vices of the Buddha himself was that suffering must be known and its origins must be abandoned.
ani mo su ji ga la ja so wa chi de ta ki wo ni ne ga na ani ngu pa nge de sha se ne ani ngu de to ko
And then also the Buddha said that if you want to achieve true peace, if you want to achieve true happiness, then cessation must be reached, cessation must be achieved.
gu de yo wa sha ba la ta ga si yo ko ma ti ja ani lo de me da wa lo de te ani so so pa ge sa ko yo res
And so then we understand that true cessations aren't just going to come about by themselves without a cause, right? We need to take the medicine to heal the illness. And the medicine is like true paths.
lo de ti no lo ta to shi ra ni te me te no ra yi sa de ma ge ja ani cham mu ka ri ra ba ka ri ka ga me ba zo ta ni ba ya yi ta ani ko ta me ya shu chi to ra res
And so, because when we speak of medicine in the context of the true paths here, we are speaking of the medicine of method and wisdom. And because method and wisdom are powerful, then whatever course or whatever subtle cause of the suffering there is abiding, this can be cleared away.
te la te ne ne tam ti ya ta bo shu den ne ji gu sa wa ka ri yi na yo ta pa so wa pe te cha so na ani ngu pa te to ra res
And then once that illness has been completely cleared away and the patient is cured, is completely without the illness, the state of being cured is similar to true cessations.
o ta de ma ji te ne pu ge ha ti ha go nda wa ta di di chi pe to ne le la wa chi te chi is
So that was a glance meditation on the Four Noble Truths, and Geshe gave some easy examples to cultivate within that meditation.
o ta te chi is te re wa te ne so 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 ni ne pu ge sa sa chi ma ni ne zu yo na yi ni mi ji de ba je te ne la chi ne la ana ni ka la ki ba ta tu la ki ba 로토야가 소소소라가 제거요레스.
And so, as we come to a conclusion here, then if you really see yourself as important and as precious, then it is absolutely certain that you must cultivate these four Arya truths, these four noble truths, to be able to reach both temporary and ultimate happiness.
어다 진지게 땡주에 rumba만다와 니게 돈에 다 마세테 렐레치도 tene kiwochi로 소소기바 뭐뭐기바 야야가 다 투마치지 강가 kiwochi로 이소 마치 그건데스.
And so, through cultivating these two sets of cause and effect, which Geshe mentioned, not only can we bring happiness in our own life, but by that we can bring it to those close to us, to our family members, our community, our city, and beyond.
야 되지.
Thanks very much.